Okay, today we're going to go through the steps needed to use the SoftPhone that's been installed on your teacher workstation in your classroom. The first thing we want to remember before we get ready to use it is that we have our headphone, which has been distributed, headphones and microphone. It's plugged into a USB port on our computer. It can be any USB port. After you plug it in, give it just a chance to install any drivers it needs, and we'll be good to go. Next thing you're going to want to do after you've got your headphones plugged in is make sure you can find this icon. I've moved it over here into the corner to make it easy to find, and you double click it. This box will pop up. It should already be filled with all the information it needs. This number right here is your extension, and if the password happened to be missing, it's also your extension number. Click OK, and a little screen will pop up. Now this process takes a little bit to load. It takes a while. I'm not going to pause this video. I want you to see the length of time it takes. So we're just going to be patient. We're going to get a little pop-up here in a minute or so. It talks about 911. If you were to call 911 from this computer, they should be able to. They should respond to the correct location. The reason for this warning, though, is if this happened to have been installed on a laptop and the laptop was moved around or taken out of the district, the 911 would not function properly. Here it is, this 911. But because these are desktop computers, 911 should know where to respond to. If we click OK, we still have to wait a second, and it should work just fine. Okay, now we are ready to make a call, or to utilize it to make a call. This up here shows the extension. This happens to be extension 5790. And when you're ready to dial, you would want to click on this dial button, and this little dialog box right here pops up. And in here, you could place the entire phone number you want to call, or in the case of an internal call, you just would need the extension number. So for our first example, I'll call the phone on my desktop, which happens to be extension 2630. It's an internal call, so all I need is the extension number. I click start, and you can hear it ringing in the background. I'm not going to answer it. Had I answered it, well, I will. I'll pick it up, and now it's in the background, but I'm done talking. I can click hang up. If I didn't want to answer it at all, I could click hang up, and we'd be good to go. All right. But we are not going to make only calls internally. We're going to want to call parents and that type thing. So if it's a call outside the district, we would have to use all 7 numbers in the phone number. I'm going to use, for example, here, I'm going to use the number for the high school. I'm going to use 892-7505. This is a 313 number. Through experiment, I found that if it's a 313 number, you do not include the area code. If it were a 248, a 586, 734 number, one of those numbers that some of the parents have cell phones for, in that case you would put the area code and the number. You do not need to include a 1. You do not need to include a number 8 to get an external line. I'm going to click start, and it's now in the process. It's dialing the high school, or it should be. And it's picked up. You can't hear it, but it has picked up. I've got that recording that we get. In this case, we need to put in an extension number, so we need to have a keypad. So I've opened this up right here, and I'm going to hang up just so it doesn't bother me. But if in this case, because I got the recording at the front office, and it told me if you wanted to speak to the front office, let's say, you would hit a number 1. So I would click that number. You use this this phone image to do that, to make, if it tells you to press extension 56, then press a 5 and a 6 here, and it will work just fine. So that's the way you would call once they get a recording that says to put in another number. Once again, when you're done, you would just click hang up. You can close this, and it's out of your way. Here are some of the options you might want to use. The phone image, we just saw that. You're going to answer a call. Here, let's try that. I'm going to call this extension 5790. Calling it from my desk phone. It's now ringing. Okay, this is now active, and I click it, and now I'd be able to answer that call if it were a parent that called you, or perhaps the office or whatever. Once again, when I'm finished, hang up. There's other options, page, unpark. Some of these, I don't, be honest, I don't even know what they do yet, but you can fool around with them a little bit. Do not disturb. You're doing something in class where you don't want to be disturbed. You can set this do not disturb, and you can say all calls, outside calls, calls that are forwarded, or call forwards, and then you can say start. Okay, I click this down. Do not disturb again. It's on right now. I could cancel it, say start. So now I'd start getting calls again. Just to give you an idea. If you maximize this window, these are all showing up here. Minimize it again. Once again, what I spoke about earlier, if you start this up in the morning and you don't want to be bothered looking at this, but you don't want to have to restart the phone again later, just minimize it. Oops, I maximized it. Just minimize it. And it goes down here, and it's just waiting for whenever you want to use it. So, hope this helps. Let me know if you have any questions. Send me an email or check with technology. Thank you.